Item I, Councilor Flaherty.
Drawing it kills it.
Item I. Requesting City Clerk read a resolution from the Westfield City Council to the Westfield School Committee.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Further discussion? Councilor Flaherty.
No, there's a one-page resolution. It's on the back of...
Here's the first one.
Councilor Anderson.
Yeah. In my opinion, this smacks too much like we are telling the school committee how to do their job. They were elected to do their job, and I don't think it's our position to tell them. I would not like the mayor telling me how to do my job when I'm elected by the public. So I'm voting no on this.
Councilor O'Connell.
I hear what Councilor to my right is saying, but, you know, we talked about open communication. I appreciate Laura Maloney being here tonight, and I think some of us are striving to bridge those gaps, and I'd like to offer a motion to amend this motion to send this resolution in a written format to the school committee.
Is there a second on the amendment?
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Further discussion on the amendment? Councilor Crean.
Yeah, I guess I got a problem with the motion altogether. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of it is. We have an elected school committee. If we have questions, issues, or so forth, we go to our school committee members. They're elected to run the school. We somewhat oversee the budgetary end item, but that is their task. I'm not going to micromanage the school committee. I refuse to do it. They don't micromanage me. If I have questions of anybody at the school committee, they promptly answer my questions. So I'm not quite sure what the good is going to come out of this. We can write a letter, we can send a letter, or we can just simply tell Laura, this is the information we need. So I approve the motion, I second it, but I'm not going to support it.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I think this is a good time to talk about my motion from a few meetings ago with asking for the ad hoc committee to study this. And the President and I have sat down and had a meeting recently with a couple members of the school committee and the mayor to discuss this. And I think we basically have come to the conclusion that the councilor to my right is making, is that the two elected bodies need to come together and work together, but not sit and direct each other, because that's not the intent. We each have our own mission, and again, it's part of that checks and balances that I like to throw around between us and the mayor. And certainly we have a checks and balances between the school committee, the administration, the teachers, and the council. So I would ask that the councilor across the way consider withdrawing this. Give us a couple months to work through the president's chair, the liaisons that have been named to the school committee, and to see if we can't open up a line of communication that may address a bunch of the issues. I think that's what we need right now. I think we're coming off of a bad time through the budget. We made it through it, and none of the kids got hurt, which is the bottom line. So now we need to get back to the drawing board and get back to opening that communication. And I think we're going to recommend monthly meetings between 2 or 3 members of the council and 2 and 3 members of the school committee to at least talk back and forth and get our message over there, but get the school committee's message back to us too.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. Councilor O'Connell, and then Flaherty.
Question to Councilor Carso. Which one? The amendment? The
whole thing. The whole thing. Put the whole thing on the back burner. Yeah. And let us work it out at this level first.
I guess I withdraw my motion. There's got to, and you have your work cut out for you, because I appreciate the school committee member being here tonight, but I've gone to a few school committee meetings, and when I'm down there, it's Siberia. I try to be very welcoming when the school committee comes into these chambers. When I go down there, I am frozen out, and it's frustrating, and we need a way to communicate. And again, you have your work cut out for you, and I hope you're successful, because I don't feel very welcome in that building.
Councilor Flaherty.
I'm going to make a comment, and then I'll lead to withdrawal. Okay. The reason for this recommendation is because we're not getting the communication we need, as you know. And when we do get communication, it's often misleading or inaccurate. And I'm not saying that just to be mean. It's true. When we get a 1-inch thick budget and it has numbers in it that aren't accurate, and then we ask them to clarify it, and they say, oh, no, those numbers are right. And then when we calculate things off it, you know, you all heard that I calculated 13% increase, right? Those numbers came directly from their budget. They gave them to us. And when I questioned them, they modified them and said, oh, yeah, but those numbers we gave you, those weren't the right numbers. These are the new right numbers. And now the number is 7.6%. Well, that's still a big number. Right? Recently, this contract was, you know, the new contract that we've been talking about came out with savings of $570,000. That's just absolute hogwash. There are not savings of $570,000. Okay, in a very short window, there might be some savings of a few hundred thousand. But when you look at what the cost is and what the payback is, it's really in the millions. All right, and that kind of message is not fair to the public and it's not fair to us. If you expect us to vote on things and pass budgets and authorize money, we have to have the full scoop. We can't have just the highlight that you want to promote. We have to have the accurate, full information. And I think that's the fair thing for us. Okay, that's my whole argument with this resolution here, and with many of the things you've seen me, you know, communicating recently, is we're not getting accurate, full information before we make decisions, and then we're getting blamed for it later on. Okay, that's not a good thing. I endorse this committee. We've talked about this before. I've talked with Mr. Donnelly many times by email and on phone. I'm happy to have him involved in this kind of committee. But we have to have accurate and fair and full disclosure of this information in a way that makes sense. All right? So after saying all that, I'm going to withdraw the motion to send the resolution number I on the agenda.
Second.
Second? Second? Okay, motion to second it. Any comments?
I won't, don't need to talk now.
Okay. Councilor Bean.
Yeah, I just, of course, I can't keep my mouth shut, but I guess the only question I would propose to some of the councilors across the way is, have any of you gone up to the school committee members and asked them questions? Not sat in the distance, not tried to get them, you know, in touch by phone after the fact. I mean, seriously gone and talked to them instead of grandstanding here. That's my question, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out.
The answer is yes, and the answer is yes directly to the school department, who is the one that is the custodian of all the information.
But not to the school committee.
The school committee doesn't have access to the same information the school department does. The school department is the one that has given us the information that's in those budgets and that's in all these documents. That's.
Councilor O'Connell?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. The answer to your question when you say across the way, I'm assuming you're including
I am.
me too. Thank you. Yes, I have. I stay in pretty good touch with superintendent. I meet with her regularly. School committee member Cindy Sullivan is my contact. I talk to her almost every week. So I think that that's an avenue where I'm trying to keep some communication. But Councilor, we heard earlier in the night at public participation about respect, and I'm just being respectful, but when you use words like grandstanding, I don't think that's really respectful.
Gotta earn respect, that's all.
Councilor Brown?
Thank you, Mr. President. I hear you. History is important. We don't want to relive anything that's gone bad, but I think we've got an opportunity to move forward, and I'm asking you just to give me a couple months to see what we can do with that, and I think we're on the right path. You know what? If we fall apart, there's other avenues, but I think you'll see that, you know, we're going to work with the fellows body that's elected by the people, and there's a reason they've been elected by the people, just like us. So let's see what we can do.
Mr. President, for last time.
For the last time,
For
because
last
it is a
time.
motion to withdraw, so we're
Okay,
talking.
I would just want one final comment. Yes, I trust you. I think if anyone in this room can do it, you can. And Godspeed. Good luck.
Councilor Andrews?
I'd just like to make one final comment. There is a room full of people here every time we have a school issue now. So there's communication going back and forth, and it's a whole lot better than it was, and it can only get better, I hope.
Agreed. And thank you, Councilor Brown. We did have a very productive meeting today, and I think all the parties hear each other, and it's a two-way street, and it's actually a three-way street when you add the mayor into the mix, too. So it's something we work on and keep going. Motion to withdraw. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion to withdraw carries. Thank you.